Everyone was talking about the murder this afternoon at the salon. Despite this serious topic, Holly Perkins's usual ebullience was undiminished, her magnetic charm enhanced by her glowing complexion and raven hair. "It's not every day that we have a murder right here in Arborville, let alone of a well-known artist like Ingrid Barrick." "News certainly travels fast," Bettina Fraser commented. "The story hasn't made it into the register yet." "And our salon isn't even in Arborville. But a lot of people from Arborville drive the few extra miles to Meadowside because they like the way Desmond and I do their hair." Holly's appearance testified to her hair artistry and her aesthetic sense in general. Her raven hair was accented with a dramatic orange streak, a shade of orange that matched her metallic nail polish. Earrings like a silvery cascade dangled nearly to her shoulders. The people in the salon were just basing their understanding of what happened on rumors circulating around the listserv, Holly went on, responding to Bettina. "But I'll bet you know the real details. I'll bet you've already talked to Detective Claiborne. Of course he'd want the ace reporter for Arborville's weekly paper to be on top of the story." Pamela Paterson stifled a laugh. She knew perfectly well that Bettina's access to Arborville's sole police detective depended on his mood, and that more often than not, the Arborville Advocate remained unclaimed in people's driveways for days. Bettina, however, took her work seriously. "I did hear something," she said, "though not from Claiborne." She ventured a glance at Nell Bascom, who was sitting in a comfortable peach-colored armchair, busily working on a knitting project. Not far from her, but seated on the hearth, Roland DeCamp was similarly engaged. The other 4 members of the Knit and Nibble Knitting Club had lowered their work to their laps in order to focus more attentively on the topic Holly had raised. Nell met the glance with a glance of her own, made all the more stern by the steely gleam of her pale blue eyes in their nests of wrinkles. When she spoke, however, it was to say, "Don't mind me. I don't see any reason why people have to make shocking events the stuff of social conversation, but I know when I'm outnumbered." "A neighbor of Ingrid's called the Advocate this morning," Bettina said. The neighbor is named Colette Dalrymple, was working in her yard when the mail carrier came around, and she watched him go to Ingrid's door. Then she watched him push the door open